Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where every week I show my real accounts, each one tied to a specific trading system, so you can see exactly how each system or each strategy performs in real time. I also share my proprietary safe wheel strategy for free. All right, so let's get started here. I'm going to start with, you can see here, this is my account here for my Earnings Edge account. So this is one of the 4 accounts. Also, I want to make sure you guys let me know that everything's working okay. Audio, video's working. Let me know in the chat. And also be sure to post any questions that you might have about options trading in general, or anything about what I'm doing here, any of my systems, or just any questions in general. And I appreciate the feedback there, Kevin, letting me know that you can hear me okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Earnings Edge. You can see here, this is my Earnings Edge account. I don't think you're going to see this here with, you don't see this here with any other YouTuber. You do not see their actual account live and their actual profit and losses right here with all of their trades. You don't see that anywhere else on YouTube. And I believe the reason is because there's a lot of people out there that pretend to be profitable, but they're really not. And they can't really share what's going on in their account. They can't really bring you into the back end of the account for real. You can see this particular account. This is one of my, obviously my best system this year. And I started with $6,000. I'm up $12,258. Here's proof of that. I think I had one loss here. And we can see the net lick. If I press this here, we can see my net lick is 17,604. I haven't added or taken any money out of this account in 2025. I'm going to use a spreadsheet because it's easier to kind of track things. Let's see here. So my last trade, I traded TSM last week. I made $858. I've got 14 since the 3.0 update in 2025. I've got 14 wins, only 1 loss, 93% win rate. My average win is $912. Average loss, $516. I don't expect the win rates to be this high with the system, but so far this is what's happened in 2025. So what was my net lick? Again, I forgot. It is 17,604. So I'm going to plug that in into the spreadsheet. 17,604. So that was another win. So this 3.0 system that I've developed here with the Earnings Edge in 2025, I just started trading it, and for the first trade came on in 2025. I'm up 190% this year. Doing quite well. Let's see, the SPY is trading at 622.92. Wow, that's up a lot. 622.92. So the market's up 6.39% year to date. I think that's I would call that an average year, or maybe a little bit above average, because I think the average year is somewhere between 8 and 10%. So the market's doing quite well. Not doing anything near to my Earnings Edge, obviously up 190% just this year. You can see my Earnings Edge overall up 252% since 2022, and the S&P is up about 31% since the beginning of 2022. All right, let's take a look at my next system, which is the PL5 Pro. This is where I have a lot of my liquid net worth in, and this one's struggling a little bit. Let's take a look at what it's doing, or what it did last week. Let me make sure I get into the right account. Let's see here. Yeah, 405. Let's see if that changes. 405, 204, and 405, 204. Okay, so that's just kind of hanging in there, down a couple thousand, but in a $400,000 account, that's not significant. So you can see it's down 13% this year. The market's up 6%, obviously vastly underperforming the market this year in 2025. This is the PL5 Pro. This is the worst year that it's been. One of the things about the PL5 Pro is that whenever it draws down, typically the 1 year later after the drawdown, it has a really good year after that. So I expect this thing to recover nicely. But that's the PL5 Pro. Let's go to the PL5, just the PL5, not the Pro. This one's a little bit different. It's more highly tied to the S&P 500. and I can bring in my. I trade this on Interactive Brokers, so I can kind of bring in my account here. I can't show you the whole account, or it'll show you my account number. You can see my net lick is 32,560. Now, I'll show you my equity curve every month. I show you the whole equity curve to prove to you that I haven't taken any money out or actually added any money to the account, so it's all legit. So 32,560, 32,560 was up a little bit from last week. 32,560. You can see that it's down about 1.53, market's up 6.39, so underperforming the market by about 7% this year in 2025. 2025 is a rough year for the PL5 program so far. The year's not over. You can see since I started this in July 16th of 2024, I'm up 8.53%. The market's up 10.59, so fairly close, fairly close. About 2% off from the S&P 500. That's pretty good. You won't find any money managers or too many other traders, especially that can outperform the S&P. But this system, I believe, will eventually outperform the S&P. So will the PL5 Pro, and that's what it's been doing over the last 6 years that I've been trading it. Okay, so that is the PL5. Let's talk about the safe wheel. Let's see what the net lick is on the safe wheel. This is the one I give away. I actually have a full course on the safe wheel, total full course. And I'm actually, for a limited time right now, I'm actually giving away the whole full course. If you hit the link in the description, you can get access to that course. Okay, let's go into the safe wheel account. Okay. 5,500 is the net lick. I've made every trade. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I've made every trade on this account live since 2022. Except for every Friday when I buy a little $5 call. But pretty much every single trade since 2022 to January 2022, I have traded live on YouTube. I don't think you'll see another YouTuber that has anything close to that in terms of transparency. Trading the whole account live. You just don't see that. You might see a couple trades that are made, cherry pick trades that are live. I don't even know if you see that, to be honest with you. You don't see anything live. If you guys see anything that's live, let me know who that is so I can go check them out, because I want to see how they're doing and what they're doing. I don't see anyone doing that. They don't make their trades live. Okay, so on the safe wheel, you can see I'm up about 0.36%, market up 6.39, so underperforming the market this year. You can see underperforming since 2022. I'm up 10%. The market's up 31. So just this last market run has been pretty significant, and it's kind of outpaced some of my systems here. My systems are a little slower. The risk is lower. I have about half the risk of the S&P 500. So if you want to be more conservative, you want to have a more conservative wheel trade, because if you know that if you trade the wheel, you eventually are going to get caught in some losers, and you're just going to be holding on, and you're not going to be able to do anything. So with the safe wheel, I'm always collecting premium, always collecting premium. Okay, so that's the safe wheel. Now let's actually trade the safe wheel, right? Because I do trade it every week. So let's go into here. Let's make sure I'm in the right account. Okay. So in this account, I have LI. I have a couple things going on here. A hedge, and I have 2 hedges, and I have long 200 shares. So the first question is, what do I do with these hedges? First question is, am I long 200 shares? The answer is yes. And have those 200 shares paid off? In other words, have they made more? These are only up about 20 bucks, and I'm down about 400 bucks on my shares. So have they paid off? No. If this number was higher than this number, then I would cash this out because it paid off, but it's not, it hasn't paid off. And then the next question is it under 100 days because it depreciates too fast? The answer is no. So it's nothing to do there. And then is this 23 close enough to this 2705? It's got to be within 70%. Let's see. So 23 divided by 2706, 27.06. And it's 84, 85%, well within the 70% range. So it is close enough to protect me. Nothing to do with that. This one is my long call that I buy just in case there's some type of takeover bid or something, and I don't want to lose all of my premium that I, whatever this long put's worth on some crazy up move. So I buy this little $5 call just in case. Okay, so my hedges are good. Now I'm looking at my shares. What I got to sign the first time, I got to sign at $30. So I want to see if I can sell anything, a covered call at $30 or better, at my basis. And then I got to sign again at $28.50. So I want to see if I can sell a covered call at $28.50 or better. Let's see if I can do that now. I want to get at least around, whatever that strike price is, around 28 cents, 29 cents, 30 cents. So let's see what I got here. And I'm going to go into the nearest expiration cycle, because it expires at the end of the week. That's where I can collect the most premium. So let's check $30. I can't collect enough. At $28.50, I barely can't collect enough there. So if I could get around 28 cents here instead of 18 to 22 cents, I would sell this $28.50. But because I can't do that, I'm going to do what I call the Blaze of Glory trade. And I'm going to collect as much extrinsic value as possible. It looks like the $27 is going to give me, well, no. So it's hard to say because there's no volume here. So this will probably give me about 50 cents. And this will give me about 50. So I'm going to sell the $27.50. I'm going to sell two of them. I'm going to just collect as much premium as I can. And if I get called away, I get called away. And I'll take a loss of $100 on the shares, but I've collected so much premium that that's okay. Because last week I think I collected $80, and this week I might collect around $80 or $90. So that's more I collected more than I will lose on the shares themselves. On that one set of 100 shares, the second set I might lose a little more, so it might come out, maybe break even, and then I could start over again. So let's see if I can get. Oh, that dropped down a lot. I guess they saw me coming. Okay, mid price 44 cents. Okay, that filled. So I just collected about $90 here. Always be collecting, and that's what I did. Is I collected here at the 27.50 here. Sold the 27.50 call. Covered calls. I'm covered because I have 200 shares. I sold two, and I collected as much premium as possible. And I might, high probability, that I could get called away here and take a loss on my shares. But I'm always going to be collecting no matter what. Okay, let's see if there's any questions or comments. Kevin says, good morning. Good morning, Kevin. These guys are saying that sounds good. I appreciate that you guys let me know that you can hear me okay. Guywan Reese. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Baldy Bob, of course. How's it going? Let's see. Less is more, which I know you. Why is the IV of the weekly option in general have a higher IV this week and a lower IV for next week's options? Okay, in general, let's see here. If I go to the trade tab and look at the IV, and you can see that it's higher this week, and then it kind of drops off. I don't know if that's always the case. Let's look at it different. Let's look at LUV. No, it's higher, and then it drops off. Let's look at Macy's. Higher, then it drops off. I guess it's just more volume, more interest here. I'm not really sure the actual hardcore reason for that. It just seems like there's probably more interest in this what's going to happen this week. Maybe there's something going on this particular week. Oh yeah, I think there is something going on this week. Something to do with tariffs or something like that. If you look at SPY, you have the same thing. I don't think that's normal, right? I think there's something going on this week that's causing that. All right. I don't think that's a normal effect that this week in particular, the volatility is higher. There's some type of binary event coming up in the market, it looks like. Another question from some guy. For the PL5 Pro, what market conditions will drive recovery on the drawdown? Really just not really anything, just normal market conditions will create a recovery. Just normal conditions. This particular time, what happened was in 2025, we had a crash, but the hedges didn't activate. And then the crash recovered very quickly. And I mean, astronomically. I mean, it went up like 10% in one day. So that's just something that is pretty rare, obviously. I tweaked the trade plan to compensate for that if it ever happens again. But got caught in that middle zone of we're in a crash, but the hedges aren't activating, which is fine. But then the market went screamed higher, like the crash never happened, and so it kind of had that effect on the PL5 Pro and the PL5. But you know, that's just a rare event, but it could happen again, and that's why I tweaked the trade plan to compensate for that. That hasn't happened since 2015. None of my back tests showed that type of scenario like that. Either the hedges activated or the market didn't recover so quickly that it acted like the crash never happened. And then you said, how much would the drawdown have been on the new roll? I'd have to look at it. I'm actually going to go over that in my course mastermind probably this week. So if you're in there, I'll show you the results of the updated trade plan. It takes a while. Once you update the trade plan, you got to back test it. It takes a while, and then you got to put all the data together. I mean, it's not a quick and easy thing. So that's why I'm just barely coming out with it now. And I'm actually looking at a 3.0 already. So this is going to be the 2.0, but I'm already looking at a 3.0 because I've had another idea and another adjustment that's going to make it even better. So that 3.0 is going to be really good. All right, Brian says DTR trading with Michael Fada live. Oh, okay. So this guy. Okay, Michael Fall. Let me write that guy's name down. I never heard of him. Michael Fall. He does live trading. Okay, I'll check that out. I appreciate that. Does your AMP class, this is Dead Gardner, does your AMP class, master class, require in-person attendance, or is it on video where I could attend after work? Are you referring to the master class that's coming up? Which one are you referring to? I have one coming up on the 19th, but I haven't started promoting that yet. So if you're talking about that one, sometimes I have to make a decision depending on how many people register, and then depending on the registration versus how many people showed up. If there's a large discrepancy, then I'll show replays. If it's not a large discrepancy, then I probably won't. So it just depends on how many people show up based on how many people registered. Cam Czar says tariffs start on Wednesday. Okay, so that's probably why we have the higher volatility this week versus other weeks. Mornick says the guy Michael. Okay, wait. Michael Fa is a straight out day trader. Okay, interesting. I don't really see an edge in day trading there because it's all directional, and I haven't found an edge trading directionally, and I've tried for a few years, And I've seen a lot of other people try, and I've seen not hardly anyone make money. There's only one person making money doing that, but I think he's front running. So, anyways, I won't name names. Um, some guy says, would the PL5 benefit from a smaller adjustment as per the PL5 Pro? A similar adjustment as per the PL5 Pro. Yes. You mean in terms of the update that I made? It probably would, yes. It would. But I don't really tweak the PL5. Uh, I don't update the PL5 program. The PL5 is what it is. And I haven't decided to update that one. All my efforts and everything, most of my efforts and everything go into the PL5 Pro. I'm going to talk to Avery. We might update the PL5. We may have already updated it into the 2.0. Okay. That Garner, the one with the banner, the bottom of the screen. Oh, okay. So you're referring to the safe wheel, and your question was based on the safe wheel. Does it require in-person attendance, or is it a video where I can attend after work? Okay, so as far as the safe wheel masterclass, as far as the class itself, if you hit the link in the description, you're going to get the full course, right? So those are videos that you can watch on demand. You just have access to them whenever you need. When I do my live help with the safe wheel, like I'm available and I can answer any questions about the safe wheel, that's happening right now. I not only do I do that with people that have the course, but I do it live on YouTube for anyone. So when it comes to the actual live support for the safe wheel, I'm right here, so you can ask me anything. But when it comes to the course itself and you sign up, that's just on demand. Whenever it's easy for you to watch the video, that's when you watch it. I hope that answered your question. Okay, so that is all the questions and everything that we have here. I know I'm on delay, like probably about a 3 or 5 second delay. So you guys make sure you get your questions in. And good, thanks. Okay, good, great. I'm glad that I was able to answer your question. Now, I don't see any other questions or comments. So what I like to say in parting is, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I'll be back next week. I appreciate you guys.